Rollos using a Viking battle axe. You can turn, you can pull, and if it's used against an opponent's legs, it can be pulled up. There's lots and lots of tricks. Hi, my name is Tyr Neilsen. I'm president of the Norwegian Glima Federation and senior instructor at the Academy of Viking Martial Arts in Norway. Today we're going to be looking at axe fight scenes in movies and TV. There's different ways to hold a weapon in single hand. When you have two weapons, there's a different thought process. In this situation, I would use the axe with my lead hand and maybe have a reverse grip with another weapon. If I preferred to use the knife, then I would hold the knife in my preferred hand and try and cut as much as I could with the axe and follow up with the knife, either in a forward grip or reverse grip, dual wielding. Vikings, according to the sagas, used two weapons. Sometimes they hid the axe behind the shield. So as you grip the shield here, you can hold the axe and the shield handle here. So it wouldn't be seen by the opponent. And if you drop your shield or if it gets destroyed, you quickly have another weapon in your hand. This is very realistic choreography. He's using basic strikes, no sneaky techniques, and no small direct cuts. He's swinging with that intention. One of them could work. It only needs to connect with the guy's arm or wrist or fingers before you've created serious damage. The way they engage is similar to Glima techniques. You try and trap the hand that's being used against you. If it has a weapon, you try and trap the weapon or the arm, and you use that to control the balance of the opponent. Lots of different styles do similar things. And my father-in-law began to teach me Glima techniques, which are based on the battlefield wrestling from the Viking Age. These are passed down quite secretly because Norway has been ruled by other nations and occupied by Germany in the Second World War. So their means of fighting hand-to-hand combat were held pretty close to the chest. It goes into grappling, and the grappling was great. It was quite brutal, and I really enjoyed it. 7 out of 10. It was a very tense and quite realistic axe fight. You want to control your opponent's weapon if possible, and by grabbing your opponent's weapon, especially near the axe head, you can use it against the opponent. This is my favorite Viking axe. The toe edge would have been a couple of centimeters higher and come to a lethal point, and the heel would have also come down to a point which would have been also lethal. And it would have been very, very sharp. This is a typical Viking axe. And this is what they call the bearded axe, because this part of the axe they call the beard, and it has an elongated beard, and you can grip it here and use it to shave or cut. And it can be deadly when you move into this grip. When you close up and throttle it, you can use it as a knife when in close combat. There are many decorated Viking axes. Vikings like to decorate pretty much everything. On the haft, they would be protected with leather, nails, or wrapped in metal. There's some examples from the sagas. This would protect the wooden haft from any attack. Not always, because it's wood, it would split, but it helps. It would be great if the producers got in contact with people who fight in the style that the people in the show are going to be fighting in, because there's a lot of information and techniques there. You can use that as a platform to make better choreography. This was very exciting, quite realistic, and a great starter for the whole show. Rollos using a Viking battle axe, which is an incredibly dangerous weapon. The axe head goes through the shield. It can be a dangerous move, but if the axe head gets stuck in the shield, it can be used against you. I have a Viking battle axe, also called a Dane axe. And if you imagine my arm is a shield, you can hook over the top of the shield and pull it down, and you can do it really quickly. This is just a small axe head. You can turn, you can pull, And if it's used against an opponent's legs, it can be pulled up. You can push forward to open up the shield. There's lots and lots of tricks with this. You can use the axe as a stick. You can use either this end or this end, or you can use it as a stick weapon here and then turn. It's made to be maneuvered around. If you start here, you can deceive a little and send it out quite a long way. He uses it with technique, strength, 7 out of 10. I believe Rollo and the character from the show. I really wouldn't want to meet him in a fight. Viking boys growing up, they get bored as kids do, and they would start wrestling, fighting with weapons. Every one of them was quite good at throwing axes, throwing knives. When we're doing seminars, we're not instructing and we're hanging around. People throw their weapons, they throw their axes, they throw their knives. It's a very natural thing to do. I could throw the axe with pretty good accuracy. I don't know if I would cut the ropes first time, but I would imagine that that character could and would. And as he did, 10 out of 10 because he cut the ropes. I don't know anybody who would swing a two-bladed or two-bit axe around their body like this. It would be too easy to cut off your own limb. It could get caught in material, it could rebound, it could be deflected. There's lots of things that can happen unexpectedly. I don't know the weight of the weapon, I don't know what type of material it's made out of, but if you live in 6,000 years, you've had a lot of practice, you're pretty much invulnerable. You could do this if you're showing off, if you're building up the energy, the determination might happen, but I wouldn't recommend it. I think that this is based on the labris, which is an ancient weapon from Crete, Greece. It was more of a ceremonial weapon than anything that they would use in battle. There's a lot of discourse about the pros and cons of this and what it was used for. In a sacred ceremony, it might have been used to sacrifice an animal, for example. The choreography is interesting because she didn't cut off any limbs. She gets 10 out of 10. Well, I don't think anybody ever wants to be put in the position where they have to criticize a John Wick movie. It looks like they're using a woodsman's axe or something about this size. It weighs between 1.5 to 2 pounds. It's really easy to swing around and it's very lethal, especially in short distances and in a compact room the way this is. I doubt that they're sharp. If we believe the scene, this is an incredibly scary situation. He's doing really good techniques, blocking, parrying, moving out of the way. I love it. You have to trap and lock it away. You have to make sure that you're not at the distance where you can easily be cut by it. Maybe get inside the weapon. In Glima, there's an awful lot of techniques we use to intercept, to trap, to hold, to maneuver the opponent's body weight in such a way that they don't have the best stability so that they can use the weapon. I really can't find a fault or say, if you did this, it would be better. So 10 out of 10. He's using a long-hafted axe. He's going to have to do something to change the disadvantage of his height into an advantage. And this is a really good way of doing it. He can reach up high because he's using that weapon. I would suggest that he cuts more ankles and legs because that's easier. And if your opponent can't walk, then they can't run after you or attack you. The way he's using the axe is an extension of his character. Yeah, he's trying to kill with every blow. He wants to show that he's powerful with every single stroke. The problem with swinging heavily every time is that you drain your energy, which is limited. You open yourself up if you bring it back in order to swing it forward. So this is a regular modern tomahawk axe. And instead of it being brought all the way back in order to